Yo, welcome to CDLA. We talk about commercial driving, more on beer delivery, commercial driving. So if you have any questions about that, leave them in the comments below. Right now I'm going to address some questions I have in my comments. And like I said, if I don't address any questions you may have, definitely leave questions below. So the first question we have here is, what are you getting paid hourly, or what you started at versus now? So now I don't work for a beer delivery company. We usually talk about beer delivery, but I work for a company called Ryder and do local shuttles. So I'm not sure if I can disclose my exact salary, but I'm going to say I am making $5.55 more than when I started, and I'm coming up on 2 years next month. How did that happen? I came in right after the pandemic. We went through a few managers, and the manager said, we need to get you guys up to market value pay. Basically, get us up to pay compared to what other trucking companies doing the same thing as us was making. So we got that raise, and then I got a promotion. I bid on a route that that pays more. So that all added up to about $5.55 more. So they let us work 6 days a week. We're allowed to work 6 days a week if we want to. So we're allowed to get that overtime. And so with that being said, if working 70 hours a week, working many 70 hours a week, 70-hour work weeks, I can make about around 100K with how my salary went up with the overtime and all that. I can make about 100K, probably even more. I'm not sure yet, because the salary just went up about a couple months ago, and so this year I should be pushing around 80, 90, maybe 80 under, something like that. And just to give an idea, I said a couple months ago, so January, February, March, April, May. I say about April, May-ish. So I have the rest of the year, and so that's why I'll probably finish out around 80, 90. But next year, I'm going for that 100K. So yeah, $5.55 more. Doing local shuttle is very easy. I'm sitting just like I'm sitting here right now. I'm waiting for the load, stuff like that. Here's the other question. What do y'all do when it rains and the stops doesn't have anything to go underneath to keep the cases dry? So this is talking about beer delivery. When I have a hand cart and it's wet outside, or if you live somewhere where it snows, what do you do to keep those packages from getting wet when you're picking your packages? Now, I did this. Not everybody did this, but I did this. That we have 12-pack bottles. You know, when you buy a 12-pack bottle, it comes with one case. When we sell it as a beer delivery company, beer distribution company, it comes in two 2-pack bottles. So then it comes in a tray that holds these 2-pack bottles, these two 12-pack bottles. So it's a tray holding them. So what I would do is, after delivery, I'd keep the trays. Or even while I'm delivering, I'll take the trays off the 12-pack bottles, unfold the trays so they're flat, lay it down on my hand cart first, and then I'll start stacking the product on top of the hand cart, so that there's a barrier between the ground, the snow, the wet, and my product. So I hope that made sense. When you first started out and didn't have the route yet, you mentioned you'd be a swing driver kind of guy. Did you ever find out the night before, or was it always the morning of when you had to cover a route? So they say you mentioned you had to start out as a swing guy. So and this beer delivery again. Usually when you start out in beer delivery, and you get your CDL and you don't have a big amount of seniority in the company, what you would do is you would start out as a swing driver. You cover for guys who are sick, calling off, or on vacations. So most of the time you're filling in for people who on vacations or took a day off. So you are aware that you're going to have this route that day, so you're fully prepared. But sometimes people call off, right? So you might get that phone call in the morning, not expecting to be on the route that day. You might get that phone call that morning, and hey, sometimes it happens. Yeah, sometimes it happens. You might get the phone call in the morning, and what's messed up about it is that you're gonna start off behind, because usually when you get that phone call, I mean, usually when you cover for somebody's vacation, you would get there as early as you can and get on the route. Especially if you're not familiar with the route, you'll come in earlier. But if you get that phone call, you're going to start out late, and you're not going to get that early jump onto the route. So yes, sometimes you may get that phone call in the morning. Hey man, love your videos. I got an interview this Monday for a beer delivery company. Was wondering if I could talk to you, get some inside questions. Let me see. This person, we were going back and forth, so it was pretty difficult to connect. It says, just curious, how long were you a swing driver? Is there a lot of turnover? Well, how long was I a swing driver? Let's go on with that. Me, I wasn't a swing driver very long at all, because what happened was I bid on something in the company that I wouldn't have to be a swing driver, because I personally don't like jumping route to route and not really knowing what I'm doing day to day. So what I did was I bid on a position inside the warehouse. I was repackaging damaged product. So let's say a product busted and one of these broke in the product, I'll repackage it to make it a full case again. So that's what I bid on. So I didn't do swing driving very much, because I don't like doing different stuff day to day. So I kind of avoided that. Swing drivers, how long will it take to get your own route? That just depends, because it depends on when somebody quit, and if somebody don't want to be on the route driving anymore. So it depends. You could wait a year, you could wait 2 years, you can wait 3 months. But usually, especially if it's commission, a driver swing drivers usually make a lot more than the regular drivers on a commission-based route. Okay, is there a lot of turnover? There was not a lot of turnover in the company I worked for. The company I worked for, guys had been there 20 years, more than 15 years. There was a lot of guys like this. And I watched people retire from the company. So, and it was a small private company too. So I'm not sure if that has something to do with it, because guys were there for years. I mean, what initially happened was there was beer company A. That beer company lasted for a while. I came to beer company A. I worked there for 2 or 3 years. Then beer company A got bought out by beer company B, and then I served the rest of my time there. So, and all those guys transitioned as well. So I'm not sure if it's high turnover now after the pandemic, because it's probably a different environment now after the pandemic, you know, after COVID and all that. But pre-COVID, man, everybody stayed, and everybody was, you know, a lot of people was pretty satisfied with their schedule and things like that, even though it's a hard labor job, you know. Is there a bidding process for routes, or if somebody puts their name in? Yes, there is a bidding process for routes, which my beer company we did bidding, and they had a union, so they did everything top down. Let's say once a year they'll bid all the routes in the company top down. And then let's say somebody quit, went to a different company, hurt themselves or injured themselves, or something like that. Not even hurt themselves, injured themselves. I don't know why I said that, but let's just say for some reason a person is not on that route anymore. They'll take that route and bid top down. So they would just bid a route. If a spot comes open, they'll bid top down. But every year they'll bid the whole route again over again. Let's see. Let's see another question here. That they got a route assistance helper job. They help CDL while working there. Do you got any info on that? So this guy saying, I guess he's going to a place that has a route helper assistant job and wants to know if they help with getting your CDL. So I can't really speak on other companies, but many beer companies do generally help you get your CDL. You come in there, you work in the warehouse, you do certain things, and they help you get your CDL. How I worked at my company is, you worked for the company. They didn't train you to get your CDL, but they had a yard where you can take their equipment and do your maneuverability back there, set up cones and do different things like that. And if you wanted to go out on the road, one of the other drivers do you a favor and go on a route on the road with you and just drive around the town. And then it was up to you to learn the pre-trip inspection and everything like that. And then if you pass the test, the company will pay the money for you passing the test. They will let you use a truck, which that saves you on money because you have to rent a truck. You have to do something to have something to take a test in. So they'll let you use their equipment and they'll pay for the test. That's how it worked for at my company. So they did, in a way, help you get your CDL. How's your feet at the end of shift? Let me see, and I'm not sure if they're asking, yeah, this is a beer question. How's your feet at the end of shift? My whole body is sore at the end of shift. You gotta think about it. Your whole truck, everything that's on your truck is pre-ordered. That's how we did ours. Everything that's on the truck is pre-ordered. So you know you're not going back home until the truck is empty. And you're basically working for a moving company. Think about it. You're stacking cases, you're climbing up on top of things, you're grabbing product, you're stacking product down, you're walking uphill, you're walking downhill, you're pulling things upstairs, you're taking things downstairs, you're putting kegs in the cooler. And companies, they don't have a lot of room, so you're going to be picking up kegs, 130 pounds I believe it is, and stacking them on top of each other. My feet, my whole body is sore. I honestly, working in all of those, I thought I would get used to it. I thought my body would catch up to it, but that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. And I'm gonna leave it there, guys. If you like this content, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave your questions down below if I didn't address something that you wanted to know about. You can ask me anything about commercial driving, getting your CDL, commercial driving's license, and things like that. Like I say, I mainly talk about beer delivery, but you can leave questions about anything that has to do with commercial driving. I'll do my best to address those. All right, guys. Be safe, drivers. Remember, you are the captain of your ship.